In this video we will build an incredible looking bike for an Olympic athlete. Will it go easy or will it be a total nightmare? Let's find out. So the first thing I did when starting the build was putting together the headsets. I stacked all the spacers, set the handlebar on the top and then marked a line on the fork. Here's a trick, you always want to cut the fork about 2 or 3 millimeters below that line, otherwise it won't sit right. Now we will start with installing the brake calipers. And for this build I chose for the wheeltop electronic group set. I've also seen they have a new design, so that was very nice to see. Well, I will not use my internal cable routing tool because people said to me I don't need it, so let's see if they are correct or not. It should come out here. Eh? Okay. So not every time you need it, maybe it's because it's a more premium product than my other ones. So yeah. Well, you see, you can learn every day, so if you have some tips for me, don't forget to put them in the comments below. Then I put the front brake caliper in place and tightened it. Okay. This looks so nice already and we are just started. I really dig the new design of the brake caliper. What do you think? And for this one I will keep using the internal cable routing tool. But even then I had a lot of problems trying to get the internal cable routing tool through the frame. I decided to use a somewhat orthodox method to try to get the cable through the frame. And luckily, after 30 minutes of trying, but eventually the cable popped through and that was a big relief. Of course, the job wasn't done yet. I asked my twin brother to give me a hand with guiding the rear brake cable through the frame. It was still a bit tricky, but together we managed to get it through. After that, I installed the rear brake caliper onto the frame. You don't need to crank the balls down super tight at this stage because you still have to align the calipers with the wheels later on. This is the grease I will be using. I started by greasing both the upper and lower bearing holders to make sure everything would run smoothly and last longer. Once that was done, I carefully installed both bearings, making sure they were properly sealed. Okay. After that, I slid some dampening foam around the rear brake cable and fed it into the frame. The foam helps reduce rattling noises inside the frame and keeps the cable more secure. Then I installed the fork and made sure that it was properly sealed in place. Once it was aligned, I added all the necessary spacers on the steerer tube to get the right height and fit. And instead of mounting the handlebars in its usual way, I flipped it upside down. Doing it this way gives you more space and makes it much easier to guide the cables through the frame without them getting stuck or strangled. It's a little trick that saves time and makes the whole process smoother. I'd always recommend using an internal cable routing tool. It really makes the job so much easier because instead of struggling to fish the cable through blindly, this tool guides them exactly where they need to go. It saves a lot of time and frustration. When you're done, just flip the handlebar back into place and you're ready to move on to the next step. And now it is time to install the shifters, come on! I started with the left shifter and then finished with the right, making sure both were secure and wouldn't move around. After that, I used my hydraulic disc brake tool to cut the brakes hoses to the correct length. This tool really saves a lot of time and makes the process much easier compared to doing it by hand. Once everything was in place, all I had to do was tighten the connecting bolts and the brake system was fully set up and ready to go. Finally, I'm super happy that both shifters are installed and that I don't have any leakages, so let's continue. Now everything will go much faster. Then it was time to install and tighten the top cap. After that, I carefully aligned the handlebar with the frame to make sure everything was straight. And once it looked right, I tightened the handlebar in place. Well, it already starts to look like a bike. I can't wait to see Paul's reaction on the bike. Maybe I will prank him when he is coming over. And now we will install the bottom bracket. For the bottom bracket, I went with the Scenics T47 ceramic model. Before installing it, I made sure to grease it properly so it would run smoothly and last longer. You can use a tool that comes with the 11 kit, but in my case I just used my own tool since it was much easier to work with. And now I will install the cranksets. Paul chose for a crankset from Rotor with a power meter built in, which had a total weight of 820 grams. Before installing it onto the frame, I made sure to grease the spindle so it would fit smoothly and stay protected. And now it is time to install the crank arm. I pressed the spindle through the bottom bracket, then installed the left crank arm to complete the crankset setup. With that in place, I was ready to move on. For this build, I went with the wheel top group set and started with installing the front derailleur. And when that was secure, I did the same with the rear derailleur. Next, I moved on to assembling the wheels. For this build, I chose the CSC 58mm deep section wheels. Now let's hear the sound. For the rotors, I went with the Shimano SLX RT70 center lock disc brake rotors and mounted them onto the wheels. After that, I greased the hub lightly just before installing the cassette, so it would be better protected against bad weather. For the cassette itself, I chose the Shimano 105 11-speed, because it's durable, reliable and much more affordable than most 12-speed options. For the tires, I used the Goodyear Eagle F1s in the tube version paired with the Ride Now TPU inner tubes. A quick tip, inflate the inner tube just a bit before installing it on the wheel. And to finish things off, I used my Ride Now tire lever to mount the tire onto the rim. Hopla. Then I placed the rear wheel into the frame and secured it with the through axle. And I did the same for the front wheel as well. Once both wheels were on, the build really started to take shape and it finally began to look like a complete bike. For the chain, I went with the gold KMC X11 SL. It's lightweight, durable and adds a nice touch of style to the build. Once the chain was on, I installed the quick link to secure it and then moved on to installing the seat post. I chose for the Wyatt 3D printed saddle because I really like it. To finish off the build, I went with Kush Star Fade bar tape with a gold accent. It really tied the whole bike together and gave it that complete finished look. The last step was installing the bottle cages. I went with ultralight carbon cages because they match the red accent on the bike and keep the overall weight low. And now let's take a look at the total weight of the bike. I hope I can hang it without a problem. Okay, it is 8.47 kilos, which is more on the heavy side, but for an aeroframe in size 59, deep section wheels and a crankset with power meter, I'm more than happy as it is. And now the only thing left to do is talk about the price. For the full build, Paul paid €2,532, which is not much compared to Western brands. You can even make it cheaper by choosing for a more budget-friendly crankset. I listed several options in the description below, so you can pick what suits you best. Well, I cannot wait to see Paul his reaction when he sees his beautiful bike for the first time. But before that, I'm pulling a prank on him. I will replace his brand new bike with this ancient one and pretend it's the big reveal. It started to rain a little bit, but I hope it doesn't get worse because everything is set up and we're just waiting for Paul. Oh, I think Paul is there. Hello, Paul, what's up? behind like all the other cars you can park. And it's free. Welcome in Belgium.
Nice to meet you.
You're tall.
Yeah,
I'm not so tall.
And at that moment I realized I would not be able to outrun him if he could not laugh at my prank.
So I made sure to keep some distance just in case. This is the bike, Paul.
For real?
What's your expectation?
Yeah, I'm very excited.
I'm super nervous for this, Paul, because I don't know how you will react.
Okay. Also ich denke, der verarscht mich, gell, Freunde. Ich denke es.
Ui. Ja, whatever. Tada! What do you think of your new
Freunde,
bike,
da ist
Paul?
das Bike. Da ist es. It's
Beautiful, maybe a little bit small for you, you know. I was not sure if you could laugh with it. So I was a little bit nervous, to be honest. But yeah, now the real deal is coming.
In einer Minute sehe ich mein neues Fahrrad. Project Rise ist da.
3, 2, 1.
Tabla! Oh. Freunde, das ist ja der Wahnsinn. Wow.
What do you think, Paul?
Boah, it's amazing.
It looks incredible, I know.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I liked it too. The colors, like the gold, and then like you also have the details. Like there was a little sparkle in like both colors.
It's amazing.
So I'm very happy.
Yeah, me
Like
too.
to me, it was the most beautiful bike I have built
Okay.
so far.
For me, it's definitely the.
So yeah, I
Best
hope you will
bike I
enjoy
ever
it.
had.
Eh?
Oh, Johnny, hey.
No
That's amazing.
problem, Paul.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a crazy idea that you would come to Belgium and like send money to a random guy on the internet,
Yeah.
you know.
I was a bit nervous. I have some surprise for you.
Oh,
What do you think to feel like a real bobsledder for a half an hour?
I would love to feel like a real bobsleigh.
Okay. And you said to me we go for a little ride on Thursday.
Yes.
Now I will prank you. What do you think? You get this is my first suit from the first World Championships I ever start.
Oh.
If you start for a little ride in the German bobsleigh team suit on Thursday.
Yeah, sure, man. Why not? But not too long, eh?
No,
Not too long.
okay,
Not too long.
okay.
Not too long.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah. You're
Ah,
welcome.
kom hier, man.
I'm so happy, for real. I'm so happy.
Well, I'm happy too, man.
We are about to go on our first test ride together and I'm wearing Paul his skid suit, so I can't wait to see his reaction.
What do you think, Paul?
You looks amazing, man.
Let's go.
Let's go for a ride.
Yes.
And with Paul his approval, we started our test ride. I showed him around my cycling routes while he tested out his bike. We even did some sprints, which I lost every time. But hey, no surprise there. And after some chit chat, we started heading back to hear Paul's first thoughts on his new bike.
Paul, we did our first test ride. What do you think of your new bike?
The colors are great and it feels so good to ride the new bike. It's more stiff than my old bike, but it feels more comfortable like my new bike.
I'm
I think
happy.
everything is perfect. You did a great job.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul. I'm super happy you like your bike and yeah, I hope you have a lot of fun with it. And also you can take on your next challenges.
I have to say thank you too, because it was not normal to wrote a guy from Belgium and ask, can you help me with build up a bike? And you did it, and so yeah, thank you so much for this. And I think I will enjoy the bike as much as I can.
Well,
Thank you, man.
You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. And also I will wear this suit now every time I go cycling. This is the end of the video, so if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can also find our social media accounts in the description below. Thanks for watching, everybody. Live a long and happy life, stay safe on the road, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!